on this fine Sunday morning. It's late Sunday morning. This is actually my third attempt shooting. I've actually got minor notes involved, namely because the first two times I started shooting, I just spiraled into a disgruntled rant for no good reason. So there. Let's start this off. And this is how I have to view my life, especially right now, with a lot of the big ideas, big goals, big ideals, big waypoints of my journey, of my life's journey, not working the fuck out. I can get angry and upset, I can get disappointed in people, and bitch and whine about it. Because these big things aren't working out, aren't happening. Or I can be grateful, be thankful, be happy for all the little blessings along the way. Mind you, it's the journey, not the destination. I do fervently believe that. I don't feel anything in this life, in this world, happens by chance. I can't abide that. Alright, so from there, I'm grateful and I'm blessed in so many ways in my life. And I think of folks who are upset and angry and anxiety's eating them alive. They just stopped and looked at all the little things. You know, do you got food in your belly? Do you got a roof over your head? Have you gathered people around you that you care about and care about you? You know, me, I'm watching my children grow. We've got one in the oven. That's a completely insane idea to me, but I'm totally for it. Let me see. The asshole that used to live here doesn't anymore. I'm very grateful for that. I didn't like who I was several years ago before I chose this journey of profession and lifestyle. So there, I'm a happy motherfucker. Don't forget it. And most generally, you should be too. Most people should be happy. At least have relative satisfaction in their personal lives. If you can't attain it, then you need to put some things under a microscope. I think sometimes our expectations get elevated to too high of a realm. This fucking weather lately, I had a log splitter lay down on me, y'all know that. I gotta put air in the tires because it's all self-contained, it's on wheels and you drag it behind a car or truck. But I gotta put air in the tires and actually button it back up, get everything put back together, and then drag it down to the shop and look at it. I think the magneto went out. So there's that. We ran out of the wood I had split. We had about 3 cords split. It's gone. And I was going out and splitting, you know, basically a day's worth at a time each evening right about dusk. Well, last week and a half, I've been up at the shop well past dark every fucking day. Not a lot of time left to split wood, and splitting wood in the dark, it's kind of sketchy, so blessed be. We got a flooring company in the front of the building, and they get stuff on pallets all the time. Well, palletized goods are usually on rough sawn oak. So I bring it home, I chop it up with a skill saw, throw it in the oven, the wood stove. Yeah. And then I dump my ash in my fire pit out back. So one of these days I'll come out here with a powerful magnet and dig out the fire pit and get all the steel out of it, so I'm not trying to deposit that in my yard. And then I'll deposit the ash somewhere more appropriate come summer, spring, whatever, when we can get out in the yard and work. So there you go. Again, you know, the work hours have been hectic and crazy. I got over 50 hours, and I'm going back in today, and I'll go back in after I drop my kids off this evening. That'll put us back in Des Moines about 9. My nephew's gonna come out and help me, I hope. Anyhow, it's gonna be a long fucking night. I got a van that's got to be ready tomorrow morning, and I got one patch panel left to cut out the rust and put in new metal, inner and outer rocker, and then all the bodywork's roughed in on the other 4 patch panels I put on. Got to wrap some windows, tint some windows, put on some decals, paint. So there you go. And today, you know, some of you noticed, because I shoot out in the truck, I don't smoke in the house anymore. I've been keeping these at a pack or under a day. Let me see, Thursday was it? Yeah, Thursday I smoked about a pack and a half. In my defense, I was in the shop till almost midnight Thursday, so there you go. The last month it's been mostly just me in the shop. And see, that's when I interject angry rant. I'm not going to do that. We hooked up a badass gooseneck trailer with some new options and modifications this last week. We started on it Thursday or Friday. We got out of there Wednesday. It'll come back this spring, so I shoot some footage. I'll dig back through, find the footage from what I shot, and you know, because we're going to repaint it. So I'll go through and show you the modifications we did then. Let me see. Other shit in the news. The fucking weather. You know, it's been single digits and negatives in some cases during the day here. Most of the United States has been hit by this crazed. You know, this is generally February weather here, but, you know, growing up as a kid, I remember this is generally February weather. Below freezing, pipes are freezing, shit's breaking, and it's happened in January the last couple years. It's just like in Iowa, August used to be when it got up into 104, 105 in the shade, very little breeze. It seems to me that August for the last 4 or 5 years has been relatively mild, and July is when the temperatures really hit, which for anybody in Iowa, anybody in Polk County, you know, the Iowa State Fair happens in August, so it's kind of a welcome blessing on that front. Anyhow, that's next summer's weather. You know, our weather right now, it's been insane. It's in the 20s today, so it feels like a fucking heat wave here. I almost want to streak the neighbor's yard because it's so nice out. No, I wouldn't do that. So, we've got some really great regular customers building the shop table. You'll get that footage. Working on these service vans, you're not getting that footage. I feel a little bit robbed, though, because I am cutting out rocker panels on these service vans, Fords and GMs. One of each right now, and the patch panels I'm making, I went up, my main supplier, my main body shop supplier, I can go up and get, it's either 22 or 24 gauge steel, and they want, last time I bought it, $32 for a 3 by 4 foot sheet, I believe. Maybe it was 4 by 4, but I'm pretty sure it was 3 by 4 foot sheet. It's been a couple years since I got one, so I don't remember. $32. Well, because we're also a welding shop, because we also fabricate other things, baskets, jibs, tables, if they can give me a bar napkin sketch, or at least give me a good description or a photograph of what they want, I can build it usually. So that being that, I've actually had to go out and find steel suppliers, and I got a 4x10 sheet, 22 gauge steel for $25.75. 4x10 sheet. Okay? Come on. This goes back to our conversation about various chemicals and products used in the shop. If you know what the parent chemical is, you can usually chase it down and find that raw chemical cheaper than that name brand, whatever it is. In the same realm, you figure out, you strip things down to base components. I need hot rolled steel. There you go. Or cold rolled steel, whatever the fuck it is. I think it's cold rolled because it's pickled. Hot rolled will have mill scale on it because they roll it out red hot, and you'll have that carbon scale buildup that protects the sheet. Cold rolled, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure I'm not. Cold rolled, it's exactly that. It's cold. It's not heated when they roll everything out. And it's a cheaper process. It's not as strong of a steel because it doesn't realign the crystalline structure of the steel. But it's a cheaper process. But they have to pickle that steel, and by pickling I mean they spritz it with what I can only assume is some kind of oil, some manner of oil, along with glycol, some kind of glycol formula, because if you don't clean it up and you start burning on like 3/16 quarter inch, it smells like antifreeze burning. So it's got to be a glycol in there somewhere. So there you go. And the one thing I've really noticed lately, because I get all of my email updates to my phone, of course to my laptop, which I check, you know, I haven't been online a whole lot. Been on there enough to say hi to a few folks that I deeply respect and chat with online. But that's why the videos haven't been coming. I've just been busy. So, okay. You know, I'll make that time. It'll end up about once a month. I'll get to sit down for a weekend and grind out some videos. But the thing I've noticed is one, Eastwood. They just barrage you with videos. I'm subscribed to them on YouTube, and half of me wants to unsubscribe or at least take the notifications off, because goddamn, there's days I'll put up 6 videos, and I don't watch all of them. I don't watch a lot of videos on YouTube. It's not a fuck you, I don't want to watch YouTube videos. It's I've run out of time in my day. So, okay, it is. I have times when I get to catch up with Darren and Kenny and McDivitt and all these guys that I really dig watching, and a few new guys that I try to, new guys I try to get involved in. Forgive my absence. I just haven't had the luxury of time on my side. I come home, I try to do the family thing for a little bit, and then off to bed. If I'm up after everybody, I start watching videos. I don't get up before everybody. I have a hard time in the mornings. So, back to my original point, emails and shit. Have you ever noticed this? And some of you will chuckle, some of you will be like, what, really? But yeah, realistically, Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has the biggest sale ever. Always ending tomorrow. Or in 2 days, or I mean the emails I get constantly barrage, at least every other day. Generally it's every day, a email from Harbor Freight talking about their biggest sale of the season is ending tomorrow or ending today. So once a week to twice a week they have the biggest sale ever. Now the point of that is, the poise and position I'm coming from is this. Whether you're purchasing tools, purchasing projects, purchasing a home, purchasing that new pair of kicks, just realize, 1, patience is a virtue, and 2, the deal of a lifetime comes along every fucking day. If you don't seize this one, if this deal isn't right for you, you wait for the next one. Don't feel pressured to jump when you're not certain, if that makes sense. We jumped on a 53 Chevy. It's a commitment for 60 hours of labor. And it's all there. It's a New Mexico title. May have originally actually been a Mexico car. but it's all there, less drivetrain. May or may not be able to use the rear end, but okay, rear ends are cheap. I know I've got a frame sitting, buddy of mine has, that I could pick up for an S10. And what that would do is give me the whole rear end set up, the whole front suspension set up, power steering set up, all that, all ready to go. You have to strip it down and build new mounts, move some things around. But you're there, you chop it down, you make it work, you gusset it, whatever you got to do, box it out. 53, they were still using flathead engines, 54, 55, 55 especially. They went away from the flathead to the overhead valve. You old school boys out there, you know this already. Youngsters like me don't know this per se, but 55 was that big year, that Tri-5 Chevy. That's why they were such a powerhouse-wise, such a big deal. They put the 283s and the 327s in them. Prior to that, the frames were beefy, but not as, because the engines weren't producing the power. Does that make sense? So I'm going to throw a drivetrain in this son of a bitch, drop it, and get it down the road. I'd like to drive it for a while. We'll see. But, yeah. That's pretty much it. Okay, so I wanted to have something in lieu of a business plan. I'm going to sit this on the chair. You're going to come to me now. This is where I started in a business plan, okay? Roman numeral it out. You know, I've got January to February. I've got goals, okay? You know, I want a hardened booth. I want to schedule, an actual schedule on the projects that are sitting and behind, written up. I want to post all new Craigslist ads, you know. Okay, cool. That's the first month. Next 3 months, February, March, April. You know, I want to get a part-timer in there. I want to get that money in paint and assembly stages. I want to organize these slots in the shop. I need to work. I need to organize work areas because Jerry's going to be peeling out about then. That bus will be gone. I intend to get a video of Jerry's bus because he wants to kind of post it up and see what's up on that, because there are other people building buses into RVs, and I think I haven't looked it up, but I think what he's got is a knockout idea. He's got, what is it, gray water, black water, fresh water, propane. He's gonna put awning type fabrication over the windows, so it lays down over the windows when he's traveling, and he can roll it out, and he can roll out that roll up solar cells onto them. He's got some ideas, and he's going to travel. That's his vice and his virtue right there. He wants to travel. He's retired, and he just wants to kick it, get out in the wilderness. I've been so fucking busy lately, I haven't had a chance to step into a pair of clippers. How's that? And most of this shit's coming in gray. Very disappointing. So, you've kind of partaken in my morning chain smoking and coffee drinking. That's pretty much what I got this week. That half sheet I just showed you is the basis and the startup of a solid internal memo type business plan. That's goals and that's operational goals for the first quarter or so of the year, and I'll go on and I'll flesh it out for the rest of this year. And once I'm done with that, I'll actually transfer that into a business plan format, and I'll start pulling down all of the information. You can get it from DNR has some information, the Secretary of State has information. You can start pulling information off the internet. It's free, it's accessible, it's out there. If I get real froggy, maybe I'll start going around to these other body shops and say, oh, I'm a student at the community college and I'm doing a project on ... Yeah, I'll be lying to them, but that's about the only way they're going to garner any half-assed information to me. At least that's my thought process. A couple of them I'll just be bald faced and up front. I'll try that first. Try that approach first. And and then go from there. This year I've definitely got to work on the shop more in a more appropriate and official capacity, which does mean I'm going to have the guys doing the work as I manage in some aspects, but I still will put time on the floor. I'm not going to be the guy in the office. What I want to do is put myself in a position this year to hire a guy in the office after I build the office, of course. A very good chance I'm just going to get rid of the cell phones this year and give me a landline, an internet, put it in the shop. That's less than cell phones. I think we're going to have a serious reorganization of this corporate charter, the LLC, here in the near future. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just facts. You gather up people to be on your team, you got to make sure they're on your team. They don't necessarily have to be team players, they have to be goal-oriented in the same direction you are. If they are not, you have a push and pull that doesn't do anybody any fucking good, because you're constantly combating each other. It's going to be an interesting year. Now the point of poison function is this: I get it on paper and then I go about making it happen. Hardin Booth, how you gonna do that? Well, we need $1,000. How do you make $1,000? You fucking work. But not just aimlessly. You don't just work on whatever's in front of you. You don't take in just anything. They've got to be something you profit from. So, our goal is to get all of our bills paid on time this year. Our goal is to get a Hardin booth put in. Our further goal is to get a commercial booth put in, because I got big plans, and I'll share those as they coalesce, because I don't want to set myself up to be disappointed if I can't pull it off this year. I've got a lot of headway to make. I've got a lot of organization up here and on paper to do. If you can organize your thoughts, you can quantify your thoughts, you can get somewhere. Having this pie in the sky image out there doesn't do you any good. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to post this up online. You folks have a great day. We're going to eat some breakfast, get around. Me and the kids going to the shop. Girl's going to go have some me time. She doesn't get a lot of me time, so she's going to run off by herself for a few hours today. My big goal is this morning, or this afternoon, as it will be, I want to get that van into the booth and sealed up. I can come back this evening and start putting wrap on windows, put tint on windows, do all that shit. Get the rocker panels painted, get it ready to go. That way maybe I don't have to come back in the morning. I may work all the way through till they pick up the van and then fucking leave. We'll see.